there, beautiful people. I'm Em from Em Does Makeup, and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this gorgeous halo eye with like a teal blue green color in it. I think it's perfect for the holidays. I'm low-key probably going to wear something like this out on New Year's because everybody wears gold, right? But I'm going to do it using this Tarte palette. If you can see it, it's very shiny. Ooh, I love it. Okay. But, so before we jump right in, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please click that subscribe button. I would love for you to see all of my makeup videos that I put up for you, and just see you around. But, let's jump right in. Woo! I'm obnoxious. Alright, so we're going to start this look with a primer. Now, I have only ever used this one. I swear by it. It is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I love it so much. I think my aunt bought me my first one of these when I was like 15 years old, and I have been buying it on repeat ever since because I'm obsessed. It works. It does the job. So let me just rub that right in. Some people might use a beauty blender for this. I use my finger because it works just as well. And I'm really not trying to retain product here, so whatever. So next, I'm going to take this like just an all-over color in the shade Idol, right here. Ooh, my light's on it. There you go. Right here. So the shade Idol. And the reason we're using Idol for this one is because we want to go with a cooler shade for this cooler toned halo eye that we're creating here today. So I'm applying Idol all over and all the way up. And I have these weird like spider veins. I don't know if you can see them. But I have these weird spider veins that I always cover, which is why I put an all-over color, like Idol, all the way up to my brow when I do this. So that's also why I do my eye makeup before I do my brows most of the time. So next, we're going to take the shade Waterfallin', which is right here. It's a nice, like, cool-toned brown. It's not too dark, but it's not, like, light either. So we're going to take that shade in a big domed brush. This brush set I seriously just got on Amazon for like 20 bucks. And I love them. I use them all the time. I've washed them several times. They hold up. They don't shed on me. Knock on wood. Now that I've said it's gonna happen, right? It's great. So what I do when I make a halo eye is I think of my eye in thirds. So here you can see I've worked this into the outer third, right? And I'm really blending this and building the powder to create some darkness here, because the halo eye is going to be more dramatic when I have a darker shade in these outer corners. Next, I'm going to take this and do the same thing in the first third of my eye. Now, if you're watching this and trying to follow along, don't panic. If you've never done a halo eye before, you do put a dark tone in your inner eye. I remember the first time I watched a halo eye tutorial, I was like, what on earth? Like, girl, you crazy. But like, believe me, have a little faith, try it. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to grab a makeup remover wipe, but finish the look before you do that. I promise you, it will turn out. So, just building this color here. Do the other eye. So when you're finished here like this, your eyes should look almost like an Oreo. I'm going to go and add a little bit more color right here. There we go. So, now that I've done this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this same brush, without dipping it back in the shadow, I'm going to run it across here. Now, notice how I'm not putting it in my crease. So my crease would be down here. It's above my crease, yeah? Just running it across, just like that. Maybe tease a little bit. There we go. I'm going to put it a little bit in the shadow for this next one just because I want some shadow on the brush. Do the same thing. This is creating the beginning of the top of that halo. We're going to put in a whole heck of a lot more of the top of this halo later, but for now, we're just going to do this to give ourselves a guideline. Cool? So now you can see we've created little circles. That's where that blue-green color is going to go later. So next, I'm going to grab my smaller domed brush. Same thing, just a little bit smaller. And dip it in this black shade right here. It's called Cave Dive. I love this shade. It's a nice matte black. And I like, it's kind of like a flatter black. I feel like a lot of blacks, like, they're almost too dark. This one really does the job without being aggressive or like feeling like it's overwhelming your whole eye. So I'm just gonna take it and build over where I put that waterfallen shade without completely covering the shade, yeah? So I'm really just adding depth in these, the outer third, and then again in the inner third of my eye. Now, if this is your first time doing a halo eye, use a lighter hand on this inner corner of your eye. I actually blow the powder a little bit first. It is really easy to go a little crazy with this black on your inner eye, and then you look at it and you're like, oh dear God, I'm a panda. We're not going for panda. We're going for green, blue, teal, halo-y. I don't know, angel halo, whatever. Anyway, so I've worked it in there. I'm gonna do the same on the other eye. And there we go. See how I've just added black into the spaces? And it looks really dark right now. That's okay. So I'm going to take the brush and do the same as I did before, just very lightly tracing on that same line with my black color. And there we go. Don't worry about blending it too much now. We will come back and buff it all out with that idle shade again at the end. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this brush. It's actually from the Naked palette. It came with it, but I love this flat brush for glitter. You can see it's covered in glitter right now. It's actually the same glitter we're about to use. Oops, I used a lot. And I'm going to use my Fix, it's the Too Faced Hangover Setting Spray, if you can see it. There we go. But I just use this to spray on the brush after I have loaded it, my friends, up with glitter. Just, there we go, and pat it on there. Now this, you have to be careful to keep it in this like light, or this skin spot in the middle. If you go overboard, you will have a full eye of this green blue color, and like, it's a look, but it's not this look, you feel? So just pat it right in there. I didn't even intend for this to match my shirt, but it does, so happy accident. Alright, so you'll notice that I carried over just a little bit into these other 2/3. That's because I'm going to come back with the black color, that Cave Dive color, at the end and blend over it to make this all look natural and blended and pretty. But for now, we're going to load up the brush again. There we go. Alright. When you're satisfied and they match, I always check it with a duck face. I don't know why, but I do. I am who I am. It's fine. So when you're satisfied with it, take that small domed brush again, stick it back in the Cave Dive color, and blend it out. And to blend the edges, you're just going to take it and work it in like just a little back and forth. Almost like you're scratching an itch very lightly. Yeah? You do the same thing on the inner corner. You can get some waterfall in there too if you feel like it. I like to just because I like a totally blended look. And then take and just keep working across the top. And I'm switching between Cave Dive and Waterfall in here to kind of blend the shades and create that halo look. Yeah? You can see it's still a really harsh line here. Don't worry about that. We'll come back to that. I'm going to do the same thing on this other eye. Like so. Really building up some color up there because I am going to blend it out. So it's okay if it's a little harsh right now. So now, I'm gonna take the other end of the Naked palette brush. And this, for some reason, is like the best blending brush ever. I'm gonna dip it back in the Idol color that we started with. And I'm just gonna start working it across the top. And I'm really putting a little bit of pressure on it and buffing this color out. Alright, so you see how it's like a much less harsh look now? I'm still just going over it. So I'm a perfectionist. I use my fingers even on this blending, honestly. So you can see I buffed it just a little too hard here, so I'm just going to fill that color back in. And go back over it again. And there you go. So, up next, in using this beautiful, beautiful box thing from Tarte. Oh, it's amazing. I will link it in the comments, of course, because I love Tarte. I'm going to use their Man-Eater eyeliner to top this look off. Alright, now to finish this look off, notice how it kind of looks like really top heavy right now? Something I always notice, and it's kind of like my pet peeve of life, is that people don't finish their eye look. They do the top and it's beautiful and they go out and it's like, where's the bottom of your eye? Honestly, I kind of think it makes your eye look smaller because you kind of lose the dimension here, right? So I'm going to dip it in the Waterfallen shade first. I'm just going to take this flat brush. It's an e.l.f. brush. Yeah, it doesn't say what it is other than e.l.f. And I'm just going to tease that Waterfallen shade under my eye, connecting it with the top third that we had going up here. I'll do the same on the other. And then I'm going to add in the Cave Dive. But with the Cave Dive, instead of going all the way out where the Waterfallen is, I'm just tapping it right up along my lash line and only in that first third. This is one of my pro tips to make your eyes look so much bigger, is to really blend in the darkness out here. Yeah, see what a difference that makes? It's amazing. Now, for this one, because this blue is really loud, I'm not going to put the blue in down here. I'm just going to take my my Thrive Cosmetics eye brightener pencil in the color Stella, sorry, and just put that along down here. Now, if you're feeling the blue and you want to really blue it up, go for it. I'm not one that likes to put bright colors under my eyes, just because I do feel like it kind of takes away from my eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw on the rest of my face and I'll show you the finished look. So there you have it, beautiful people. There is your teal green halo eye look. I need to decide what I'm gonna call this. This is definitely something I would wear at night. Would potentially wear it during the day in the holidays because I feel like it's a little festive. But I definitely like this because it's not too much. That's my biggest pet peeve about big colorful eye looks, because I love them, but I just feel like I'm ah. Anyway, I'll stop bothering you now. Thank you so much for sticking around this long, and I will see you again next time.